So Camille, Adrian, you're both restaurateurs, small business owners, and cultural ambassadors for the Philippines here in San Antonio. And I'm fascinated by the story of Sari-Sari. And I know that it dates back to 1995. So Camille, what's the story behind Sari-Sari?
Sari-Sari, like you said, started in 1995 just as a small market where we sourced ingredients that weren't yet available in San Antonio. That later evolved into a restaurant in 1998 where my dad would cook meals for our family and for the community. And from then he developed the recipes that we serve now. What we've done in 2016 when we took over the restaurant is really try to make that more presentable and appealing to the San Antonio community.
Met in 2010, and this place, like you said, had been open since 1995. We, my family and I had already been frequenting this restaurant, and it had been a favorite, a staple in the city.
Yeah.
So we met because there's a local basketball league, a Filipino basketball league. Basketball is really a popular sport, the favorite sport in the Philippines, and so that's also a big part of our culture and something that our community has definitely evolved over the years, the basketball league. But anyways, we met, we came together, but from different backgrounds. She spent a lot of time in school pursuing her doctorate degree to become a physical therapist, and I was going down the route of accounting and insurance.
So finance and healthcare.
Yeah.
Right.
Completely different background.
Yes.
Yeah, now we're here, and but we needed to make some adjustments. We needed to adjust to the palate of San Antonio and the community here. We needed to also improve upon our customer service and really make that a top priority. The hospitality industry is from beginning to end all about the customer experience, and something that we brought back with us, something that's really important to the Filipino culture is hospitality. So, fine-tuning those things and making it a part of our identity, but also staying true to who we are, which is Filipino Americans, has helped guide us in the direction that we're going now. So,
growing up as a Filipino American, we don't really fit here nor there. So we have to do our due diligence in our job to really look back into the roots of where we came from to really appreciate where we're going. So we took a trip last year to really dive back into how the food is prepared, why the food is prepared that way, and also a part of the hospitality that we're receiving when we're there is really just unmatched. To find the happiest people that have the littlest, to be able to celebrate and continue to share no matter what you have. I think that's really runs deep in the hospitality of the Filipino culture. When you come into our doors, we want to welcome you with that kind of warmth, treat you like family, make sure that you had a good meal, and send you home so that you're feeling good and want to come back.
We've created this passport that involves, it's called the AAPI passport, Asian American Pacific Islander passport. And it involves several Asian American owned restaurants in the city. And you have this passport, it lists them all on there. You bring it with you, you get 10% off. And it encourages folks to not only they're educating themselves on the different options available out there, but to dive into different Asian cuisines to see all the different options that we actually have in the city. I think oftentimes when you think about Asian food, it's primarily the Chinese food, sushi, ramen, pho, but there's so much other cuisines out there, and we're here to show people that it's a cuisine that is
delicious. Delicious.
That is delicious. Thank you. Couldn't have said it better than that. So we've taken the food. We have a food truck. We've taken that food truck all around the city. We brought it to different neighborhoods during the pandemic. We've We're downtown San Antonio.
Which I love that, right? Because it allows you to move around freely.
Yes.
In the entire city.
Shout out. Yeah.
So tell me more about the logo, right? It's like a take on the anti-social social club.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite brands. I feel like I am a part of the anti-social social club myself. And but no, aside from that, I love the style, and we came up with this thing called Sorry Not Sorry Club for a lot of reasons. I think when you say it, you might not really understand. It might sound like you're saying sorry twice. And so we're not super apologetic, where it just sounds like that. Sari is actually a grocery store, a convenience store in the Philippines. Instead of saying hit up the 7-Eleven to grab some things that I need for dinner tonight, it's go to the Sari-Sari. And that's how our grocery store began, and that's why we call it Sari-Sari. So it expanded into a restaurant and a bakery. So sorry, not sorry. That's where that comes from.
Your involvement with the community, right, on the advocacy side. So recently, right, you fought for a proclamation, right?
Sure.
From the city of San Antonio to recognize May as the month for Asian American Pacific Islands, San Antonio. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, definitely. I think it's really important for communities to be recognized. Like he had mentioned before, not too many people are familiar with the Filipino culture. So I think as an Asian community, a Pacific Islander community, it's better if we can all just ask for those things, but at the same time to come together and express what we feel like is important. And representation is one of them. I'm so glad that other cultures are being recognized all over the country. So it's time for our turn to shine, our turn to be recognized for our contributions, and for people to know that we're here so that they can come out and support. So
Why do you think representation matters?
I think anyone that moves to a new country kind of wants to find where they belong, to find people that look like them, to see other people participating in society, not just in one thing, but all over the place. My parents came as nurses. A lot of Filipinos that you meet are nurses, and in that way, they shine because they're also caring, loving, warm, hospitable. And so that restaurants are the same way. It's people have restaurants because this is something that they do already. This is food that they cooked at home, food that nourishes their family. So there are a lot of stories in restaurants, a lot of hardship for people that had to come here and do what they knew how to do in a place where they don't know what to do. Find the opportunities themselves and to create it. When you can see representation in other places, then you can say, hey, I don't have to just stick to this, but there's other things I can do. I see them do it, I can do it too. And I think that's what helped there to be even more Filipino restaurants now than there were over 20 years ago when we opened. I think it's a testament to our involvement in the community, getting our name out there, getting our culture's awareness out there. And we're happy to see it. We're happy to be a part of that growth and to champion those things and to continue to create those relationships and establishments with other people in the community so that that can happen.
Tell me more about how you navigated the pandemic and how you were able to propel forward this model that adapted to the trends together with the market, but also with the restaurant.
Yeah. So, obviously it's a very unique concept having a grocery store and a restaurant attached without a separating wall. I think when the pandemic came around in 2020, the grocery stores, the commonly shopped grocery stores like H-E-B, Target, Walmart, Costco, Sam's, where folks were stocking up on supplies, not knowing if they were going to be able to get their hands on supplies that they would need over several months. And so once those grocery stores were completely depleted of their inventory, the community was seeking out groceries from the specialty grocery stores like our own. So when it was a situation of the dining rooms closing, mandatory closure of all dining rooms and restaurants across America, we had to obviously follow suit, switch to takeout and curbside, but our grocery store sales increased dramatically, and we're able to offset a lot of the loss of revenue from the restaurant side. So obviously we didn't know what to expect going into the pandemic, but I feel like our model was built for the pandemic. It allowed us to get through, keep our staff. Yes. So folks that were staying home and not eating out more were cooking more. They were shopping for groceries more. And that also allowed us to bring the food truck to the neighborhoods, because the trend was folks were staying home, cooking for themselves, making home cooking videos, and they just got tired of that. They wanted to eat out really bad, but they couldn't. So the food truck thrived in that time as well, being able to cook our food here or bring food to the truck to make for folks in their neighborhoods. So that really adjusting was normal for us.
Yeah.
And
You already had a model.
yes, and it worked, and we wanted to continue bringing Filipino food to the city of San Antonio regardless of the current situation, and we were able to continue our mission even during a time like that. So this is our crispy pata. It's our specialty here at Sari-Sari. Very similar to the chicharron. It's got, as you can tell, you might be able to see the crunchiness from the camera itself, but it's a long process. We're gonna brine.
So you can go like this right here.
Oh yeah, so
Oh yeah.
You hear that?
The crispiness.
it's a really long process. We 24 hours, and then when it's ordered, we fry it for 20 minutes. The result is a crunchy skin, a little bit of fat, a lot of meat under there.
The fat is so good.
Yeah.
It's the best part.
Yeah.
What I really like to do is mix it with this pickled papaya right here. It kind of balances with the bite from all the fat and the crunchy skin and saltiness.
Yeah. You want to try this, Jal? I know Jal wants to try it. Oops. So have one. There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
One ready. 1, 2. Look at that. Yeah.
scoop it out of there.
Yeah. That's great.
I think because Filipino cuisine is traditionally a family style type of experience. You'll notice a lot of other Filipino restaurants serving buffet style. Filipinos just like to eat a little bit of everything when they dine. But over here, it's a little bit different. It's more cooked to order. We fire with fresh ingredients every day, every time it's ordered. So something like the crispy pata is not something that I know a lot of people want to do because of how laborious it is. But like I said, it is a staple of ours, and our lechon kawali is also prepared exactly the same way, which is our deep fried pork belly. So that's probably more closer to the chicharron pescado that you were referring to. Yeah.
This is really good. So Camille, tell us more about this dish. It's called lumpia, right?
Yes. So this is our Filipino version of an egg roll. To me, it has only the best parts, which is our ground pork, carrots and onions, some seasoning, and that crispy wonton shell. I think it's a rite of passage to learn how to roll lumpia. And for the 20 years that we've been doing this, we had one lady, my aunt, who would just sit and roll lumpia all day. Now it takes us like an army of people to kind of keep up with this little treat.
How many you sell it a day?
I'll pass that over to you.
Yeah, we sell maybe 3,000 to 4,000 in a week. So we have 6 to 8 different part-time lumpia rollers that strictly roll.
Lumpia rollers?
Yes.
Lumpia roll, that's their position. You'll find them in that private room.
How do we sign up? In San Antonio, since 2000, the growth of the Asian American community population has been 200% according to the U.S. Census. That means that there's 80,000 plus Asian Americans. That makes me really happy as the diversity in San Antonio is growing. I know it has a strong Latino presence, right? But as we move forward into the 21st century, how do you envision the role of Filipino culture here in San Antonio?
Well, I think now's the time. It's a good moment for Filipinos and the other Asians in the community to really come together and collaborate. We're a part of the Asian festivals, which gives light to the different cultures that are living here. And we're also coming together as a community to create an Asian resource center. So that'll be all of the Asian communities that reside in San Antonio for a place to learn more about culture, to learn language, to have dance performances, just places that we can all just gather and learn more about each other.
How can the audience learn more about Sari-Sari?
They can definitely follow us on our social media, on Facebook and on Instagram. We're always trying to educate the public on the things that we're involved in ways that they can also participate.